You're listening to the Known Legacy Podcast, brought to you by Known Legacy Ministries. For more information, go to knownlegacy.org. Now here's your hosts, Bill and Travis.
Man, I suck at talking technology.
Oh, you are the worst.
I can't say anything. I'm always like I just literally, I was like, I used the wrong word. I'm like an idiot on parade is what I am.
So for those who aren't, first off, thanks for listening to Known Legacy Podcast. We're
Yes.
happy you're here. I'm Travis. Over there's Bill.
Howdy ho.
And our producer Kyle's in the corner.
Hello.
Fantastic. And to make things easy, we have lights on our cameras that will come on to let us know that we're on. And it's
Yeah.
called a tally light. But for some reason, Bill went to dongle.
The dongle.
Make sure my dongle's
No,
working.
he said light dongle.
The light dongle.
Light dongle. Light dongle. So anyone in...
Idiot on parade.
we're happy you're here. Anyways,
We're so glad.
yeah.
Thank you guys. Welcome to the show. We hope you have a great time
We
today.
all need to wake up, gear up, and come alive. And
Amen.
some of us need to do that in technology, and other of us need to do that in other ways.
in
other ways.
Jesusology.
That's fantastic. Anyways, as always, you can follow us on Facebook.
Maybe I'm not good for any words.
YouTube or Instagram. If you would do us a favor and give us a share, give us a like, give us a review if that's something that you're into, and we'd just love to get the word out of what God's doing through this podcast and the way that it's helping guys wake up, gear up, and come alive, right?
Yeah, super excited to have you here. Today we're talking a little bit more about, we just had a great couple of weeks of impact with Known Legacy.
Yes.
But before that,
So my question for the day.
question of the day.
What is the light on the phone called? That's the question.
Yeah, Bill, would you like to
The
go
light
first?
dongle.
Anyways, the question of the day.
Question of the day.
Sorry, a little slow on that one. And where do you go to reset? Like, how do you reset? Because let's be honest, as guys, we always have something to do. We have a project to do. We have work that's calling us, and there's stresses at work and problems to be figured out, and there's kids, and there's issues and all that other stuff. And sometimes we manage it well, and sometimes it's like, man, too much. I just need a moment to reset. Where do you reset? Bill.
I'll start this one. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. For me, I think, when we started doing this full time last year, you guys gave some kind of like, Bill, you need to have time to stop. Because this can be a heavy ministry, and there's a lot. And man, ministry itself can be exhausting. You know what I'm talking about. And I found that my favorite spot, and I might have said this before, is my back porch. I go to my back porch, and I just hang out. And, the water, like the sun sparkles off the water on our pool. And my wife has done a great job putting all these flowers out, which is, side note, it's funny because she has these flowers in the back that I think she got for like free or like $1. Yeah. And they come back every year. And the ones we spend like $50-$60 on, it's like, really? Like you're gone? But the cheap ones, and then she does this thing called deadheading flowers.
Okay.
Where like basically she'll take the seeds of those. Like, she's awesome with it. My wife's got like a green thumb. She's got a green hand. So you know what I'm saying? She's like amazing with this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I just look at her. I'm like, man, you're pretty. I don't know what you're doing, but we're doing good, man. And so they always come back, and so there's always beautiful flowers and the outside and the sun. Basically, even on a hot day, it's shadowed until about 11:30, and you can see it kind of coming. So I know when about 11:30 is there, because all of a sudden I'm like trying to like move my computer over to the one little sun spot, or the shade spot. But that is probably, I've realized that's where I run to, because I used to go to a coffee shop, but then you see people.
Yep.
You always see somebody that you know, or you go to like a, like even like a park, and you're parking, like I'm sweating my face off. I'm like, but there is just this beautiful like oasis in my backyard.
I love it. And sponsored by Low T. Low T, if you'd like to get into gardening yourself and talk about flowers. No, it's fantastic. Totally agree with you on that. Kyle, how about you? Where do you go to reset?
I know why he wanted to go first now. Because he knew my answer.
Is your answer the backyard too?
I mean, where do I spend my time?
That's true.
I mean, I literally spend 10 hours a day on my back patio. So...
And you have a beautiful backyard too. We've done the podcast from there.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful backyard.
Beautiful.
So I get it pretty early in the morning, and it's dark, but I have these lights around the fence. So I turn those on, get the dog fed. The dog's out there chasing squirrels, and then my pool has this little waterfall. It comes on at 10, but sometimes at 5 in the morning I'll just be sitting there. I'll do my devotional. I'll light up a cigar and then turn that waterfall on.
Nice.
It's just nice and relaxing.
Oh,
That's
so
fantastic.
nice.
That's mine.
What about you, man?
I hear a common thread of the pool, which we don't have.
You
we
can come
don't
over
have
to my house and whenever you want to. I know it's an hour away, but you're welcome to come.
I'll roll in at midnight. Why is there a weird guy out on our back porch?
Sploosh! You're like you're doing cannonballs. Me and Sarah are like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, it's just Travis again.
Sorry, a little loud here in the old cigar shop. I apologize for that. Anyways,
Having too much fun.
Very, very similar. Like, as a guy who interacts with people all the time, like that's part of my job as a pastor is just be with people. I recharge alone, and so I just got to be alone. And what I realized is back patio is fantastic unless it's 100 degrees out.
Yes. Yeah.
But just being like. And the other thing is, I noticed with my calendar, it's not just being alone. It's like not having anything on my calendar.
Yeah, good call.
And so for me, it's putzing around the house, doing little things around the house, being alone, even like just being alone, sitting on the back patio. I also have some flowers. I'm the green thumb in the family, and so I'm the one that takes care of the flowers.
That's why you rip me apart for low T.
That's exactly
I get
why.
it. I get it. You want to hold hands?
No. No, not at all. So thanks for listening to No Legacy Podcast. We're glad you know. And it's being alone. It's being alone. And I think as we go into the conversation today, what I realize is you got to carve out that time. Like you've got to put it on. So I've had a crazy few weeks. We've been launching this church called Reclaimed. We moved into a 3,000 square foot space that was literally just empty, and we had to transform it over a month and a half into this worship space. And it was a lot of decisions. It was a lot of this. It was managing relationships. It was managing expectations of people thinking it was going to be this and it's not that, and how do we do that? And it was just overwhelming. And finally got to the men's retreat, and Bill pulled me aside when I rolled in and goes, "Dude, you okay?" I was like, No, I'm not.
Yeah, I could
I'm
see
empty.
it on you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm absolutely empty. I'm going to give you everything I got, but I'm empty. And so when I got home on Monday, I sent out to my team at Reclaimed, I was like, tomorrow is my abide day. So if you text me or email me, just realize I'm not going to get back to you until the evening.
Yeah.
And I just need to shut it all down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I did the same thing Wednesday morning. I was like, I'm not doing anything until 10 o'clock. And it was just so invigorating and restorative to just not have a decision to make, not have a relationship to manage, and just kind of for a moment, just like go, it's good. It's good, you know?
No, I struggle with that too because I jumped right back into it. And then the afternoon on Monday, I was like, nope. I'm good. I'm taking it off. And I think that's when you called me, and then I called you Wednesday. And I'm like, I need to just take some time. And I think there's value in that. It is that Elijah thing. Like, I'm just going to stop.
Yes.
And man, I know that, man, we're driven people. Most guys are driven. And so to have that time to stop is so valuable.
Correct. Yeah. So part of the reason why we wanted to start with the conversation is we just got back from our men's retreat. Known Legacy second annual men's retreat. Yeah. Biannual. I don't know how we say that. Anyways. And Biannual. Let's never use that word again.
Biannual.
Anyways, so Bill, why don't you share with us kind of your experience, what you hoped for the retreat, what actually happened there, and kind of because I saw a lot of guys gather together on Friday. They were all coming from work, coming from other activities and other events. Some of them driving 6-7 hours to get there on time.
Yeah.
And throughout that weekend, seeing guys, the weight kind of like was being shed off of them, and they just were able to just be and reset and be restored just for a little bit. So tell us a little bit about the retreat.
Yeah, so first thing, you guys missed something awesome. If you missed it, we're going to have another one. Be on the lookout for that. If you want to be a part of our email list, go to knownlegacy.org, and once it pops up, schedule, just sign up to our email list. It's right on the front page because we want to let you know about that because it was a great time. Being number 2, we kind of felt like we had more of a basis of what we're trying to do. And, part of why we were about 2 hours away from us, it was nice that even the last probably 45 minutes, it felt like there was just a complete like calming down of the last 45 minutes. I remember when we hit like kind of like one of like the country roads. Man, that I felt like everything went, just stopped. And so to get far enough away where you couldn't, like Kyle said, you couldn't leave. You had to stay because you're like, there was nothing else there. I was like, we'll get some snacks if we need it. We're like, first thing, we didn't need any more snacks. We were great, but I'm like, there's like nothing. There's like a 7-Eleven somewhere down the road that like Uncle Artie owns. You know what I'm saying? It's like the feed store and 7-Eleven.
Bait shop.
Yes. But it was
Beer,
great. It was great to get
bang,
away.
and ammo, yeah. I'm sorry, it's a Kevin Fowler song. Sorry.
I don't know that one.
That's okay. It's Texas Red Dirt. So
Yeah.
some of my boys out there know it. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
You know
calling
who
out
you
the
are. Absolutely.
Yes, but I loved it because, man, the expectation for the weekend was just that we would get away, and so many of these events we were listening to guys about what they really wanted.
Right.
And we just talked about it in our last podcast, and it was just validated all weekend that about 99% of guys in church are feeling pretty alone.
Right.
Like, it's almost like he said it, but he used a different word, but it was like we're alone together.
Correct.
And we're just doing our thing, and this gave guys a moment to hear some truth and then sit by a fire.
Yeah.
Or hear some truth and play cornhole or that bucket golf or disc golf or fish. I mean, I have pictures on my phone from guys who are like, I caught all these bass and stuff like that. And just to get away was what we wanted, because we don't get much time to process.
Right.
And when we are at a closer event, it's like, I got to go home and mow the yard. I'll be back at 3.
Yep.
And you're like, man, but to stop and go, I got this day, and then you're forced to think about things in the midst of brotherhood.
Correct.
That they would find an armor bearer with them, and we were very strategic with that, like we do with each time. That guys, you're not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to be on this journey alone. But so many guys have nobody that they're like forced to be around.
Correct.
That they're like, okay, I'm gonna, we're already thinking about where we're gonna go to lunch after church. This is like, no, we're gonna stop. We're gonna hear some truth, and then we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get in these groups, and then we're gonna get alone with God.
Correct.
And man, the impact that we're already seeing from this proves that, man, we were listening to God, which is like, thank you, Jesus. We're actually doing the right thing.
Yes.
And the response of guys living with a purpose after. One thing that we are at Known Legacy, and you guys know this, but if you're listening, is we are a ministry that wants to set people on a purpose of vision for their life.
Correct. Wake up, gear up, and come alive.
Exactly. And so this weekend, we saw response after response of guys who were just walking in from a point of exhaustion and walking out with a point of purpose. And that is really the goal that we wanted to see happen, and we're seeing it. We're seeing guys live that out. And it excited me because we're just scraping the surface. So if you're listening to this and you've got this moment of like, man, what does God want to do with me? I pray you would go back and listen to the other podcasts and be a part of it, because, man, we saw purpose. We've had a lot of things happen, and we're not going to bring up that right now, but we've seen a lot of things happen in these last couple weeks.
Right.
That guys are like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And this gave them here's what I should do.
Right.
To start them on that road.
I love it. So I had the chance to get away. It turned out the retreat center was only about a half hour away from my son at college, and I hadn't seen him for a month. First time I had gone for a month without seeing my son. And so you guys were gracious enough. You let me go after that first session to get lunch with him and his roommates.
Yeah.
And I came back, and I noticed something had shifted, because Friday night around the campfire, everyone was very polite. Everyone was kind of talking about just getting to know each other. When I rolled back in at like 3 o'clock on that Saturday afternoon, everyone was busting each other's balls. It was fantastic. Like, I walked in, and not 2 seconds did I walk in that the guys were ribbing me about something that I had nothing to do with. And I'm like, this is a good group, because we're able to communicate with each other. We're able to, rib each other a little bit, and no one's taking offense to it. And we're laughing with each other. We're laughing at each other. And it was just this amazing moment where you saw this group of strangers become a cohesive group of guys that next time they get together, I promise you, that time to go from stranger to buddy is going to be that much shorter. And it was so good.
Yes,
it was so good to see guys just rib each other, laugh, and just I could see them taking deep breaths of just good life.
Yeah, and I also think they got healing. A lot of these guys came back saying, I got healing. Like, they didn't come up to me and go, Bill, I received healing this weekend. That's not what we're trying to go for. But this idea of, wow, I didn't realize that I was living almost like a compartmentalized life.
Correct.
Of, I do the Jesus thing, and then from there I'll try to play it safe and do it. But instead of going, I'm going to go back and do a Bible study, it's like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to pray over my kids.
Right.
From this point on.
Right.
I'm going to see that my voice speaks life or death in every situation, and start to live with purpose, because we don't know how much time we have.
Right.
And man, to say I'll get to it, we tried to scrape back that layer of the I'll get to it to no now.
Right.
Now is the appointed time. It's like Scripture says. Now is the appointed time for us to do what we're called to do.
For such time as this.
Yeah. That we're a royal priesthood, a holy nation, like this whole thing in 1 Peter that that Jesus talks clear about, and we're able to help these men see that. And then also the other thing, as we talk about vision, we always talk about the dreams and what God's putting. We have a lot of guys strategically placed when we do these podcasts that are like, you're in the middle of the dream. That's why we have them on. Guys like Mike, guys like Benji, who were on just a few weeks ago, that are now going, hey, what was it like when nothing was showing itself? And you're like, keep going. And that's what Inspire is. Your dream is valuable, and there's something that you have to offer that no one else has to offer. And to have the time to stop and think about that and let like work fade away for a minute.
Right.
And throw those bean bags in the cornhole.
Yep.
And then it just kind of clicks.
So, Kyle, I would love to know your experience. Like, first off, Kyle, great job with the band, the worship band. You guys killed it.
Yeah, great job.
Phenomenal job. Excellent.
I love that he controls.
I'm going to give myself a round of applause.
Yeah.
What was your experience for
that
the
was
men's
for
retreat?
that was for Joseph and the rest of the guys. Well, it was interesting for me because I didn't get too much of a chance for downtime.
Yeah.
Because we didn't, the band was sort of thrown together 3-4 months ago, but we never rehearsed. So we had 5 different sessions that we played at, and so we would have to run through all the songs before each session. But that was still fun and great because if we had it all set up, it's fun to play anyway. So,
yeah.
But I noticed the same things that you did, Travis. It was the Friday night was sort of, I don't know if people were just tired or, they worked all day, they drove, they got there, whatever. But Saturday just seemed like a whole different group.
Yeah, it did.
And it was great. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a great venue. I think it's a great place to go.
The food was amazing.
Food was great.
Yes.
The hosts were great.
Yeah.
When I got there, I was the first one there because I had to get there early, and she's like, "Oh, just go by our house, and it's around the corner there." And I'm like, "They live right there in the middle of it."
Yeah,
so
amazing
awesome.
people.
I really enjoyed it.
So let me ask you this, Bill. Let's say a guy's like, man, I'm exhausted. I need a reset. I don't even know how to do this. I don't have the retreat coming up. I don't have something to do this. What would you say to the guy that's in the midst of it, feeling exhausted, and just trying to keep it together one more day? What advice would you give to him, taking what we've taken from the retreat to say, this is how you can do it on a daily basis or a weekly basis to be reset, recharged, renewed, and make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing we just talked about, like stopping and really giving yourself permission to stop. Like, we do not give ourselves permission.
Correct.
And even, how do I say this? Even if you're in a contentious situation at home, to take some time, maybe an elongated lunch break,
Right.
and begin to get a taste of what that stop looks like. And then getting alone with God and just actually asking him, like, hey, I want to hear from you.
Right.
And just starting there. I mean, I would say a tangible, and it's not just to tote what we do, but I think we've made it really simple for guys
Right.
to walk through. That I would challenge you guys to pick up the book More Than You. That's a big thing. And when I
Nice
mean that,
plug.
yeah, thank you. But the reason I do it is because I wrote that book because of these conversations over the course of years that were
Correct.
like, me and you were like, we're having the same conversations with men about, like, do I believe this is true?
Right.
If it's true, then who is this God really? Because our world is not going to tell us who God is. It has to come from the foundation of God's truth. And then finally, who are we?
Right.
And it was just validated even on our last podcast of the vision, of having a vision, some goal. Because when we're not moving forward, it's like the shiniest object is going to catch us.
Right.
The sin, the next Netflix episode of something.
Right.
And instead to go, God, what are you calling me to do? I would challenge you. We have an audio book and we have a hard copy book. The audio book is because I'm not a big reader.
Nope.
And I was like, wait a minute, we're writing a book for guys who don't like to read. This is a terrible marketing plan. But to have something to go, we understand what it feels like to be brothers in the battle who are exhausted, worn out, but see the value of God. But then to know that there's people in your corner that are rooting you on for that.
Correct.
And then to find a community of guys that you can be around.
Yeah.
But that's hard.
Yeah.
Because so many churches are, they'll do events and they'll do them once and then they won't do them for 6 months.
Correct.
Or they'll do the same men's breakfast every. I'm not ripping apart men's breakfast, but like they'll do the same kind of men's breakfast.
I don't know many guys that at 6 a.m. are really ready to connect and hang out.
Yeah.
You know? So it's funny. Two things. Number one is this: to go back to what you originally said. My encouragement is own your calendar.
Yeah.
We allow too many people to own our calendar, whether it be the Little League baseball coach or the Little League travel team or our bosses or even our wives. There are times that we need to own our calendar and say, nope, at this point I'm marking it out. And you can write a book. I don't care what you put in that, but you have to have a block in that calendar where it's just for you to be still and reminded that you are God's, right?
Yeah.
Number two is, the morning breakfast. I love the morning breakfast, but I'm not a morning guy, and I don't know many guys that are like real big morning guys to talk. So what our church started to do is we do brews and Bibles, right? So we have guys get together, and there's don't tell anyone, but there's a kegerator in the back of our church. And I
Lutherans,
and I posted it on our neighborhood page, right? And one of the guys in the neighborhood was like, "Is this for real?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. We just get together and we drink. I don't care what you drink. Drink whatever you want, but we just sit together and talk about guys." And we had it last night. And it was so fascinating to see these guys get together. And it's at the end of the day, so they still have some energy. They still have some life, and it was fantastic. And so find whatever fits for you. Mark it in your calendar, own that time, and then execute. And don't compromise.
Yeah.
Like if you have a meeting with your boss, you're never going to compromise and write something over the top. The problem is when we have a meeting with ourselves, it's easy to compromise and say, well, I'll just do this here, or I'll just
do it
fit
later.
in there. I'll do it later. And doing it later finds us in places where we're burned out, we're broken, we're not the husbands we want to be, so now we have guilt, we have shame because we're not the dads we wanted to be. And all of those negatives, instead of saying, man, if I had just owned my calendar, marked it off, and not compromised on those times, life would be better.
Yeah, one of the guys there, Eric, had mentioned, he goes, they do a lot with guys, but then he noticed that the best part of the event that they would do was this campfire thing. Yeah. So once a month, he just opens his house up to a campfire, or to just like a fire in his backyard. And we underestimate that. We're like, no one would come. Do you understand? He's like, I've had like 30 guys show up to my house, and they don't...
For a campfire.
Yeah, and the conversation... We're children of God, and so that conversation will inevitably wrap around the Lord.
Correct.
Like if you're soaking up the truth, I want to make a difference, I want to make an impact, man, I'm just going to invite some guys over and then see how they're doing. And success is not, we got through the book of James this week. Success is, I learned that this guy, man, he likes woodworking, or he does this, and man, he's got a couple of struggles in his marriage based on the jokes that he threw out there.
Right.
Or based on the reality of life, whatever it is. But letting guys be known. But when we think known, we think, tell me your greatest fears and your biggest struggles. And we're like, those actually come out. But just like, but not in that term. Just, again, what's going on in your mind?
Paying attention.
How are you doing? And if you're going, I want this, then God's put it on you to be the one to make that happen.
Yep, exactly.
And the challenge of that, and that's where these weekends came from, is just to spur this heart of, man, we are made for more. And all you're doing it sounds funny, but all you're doing when you are having a campfire is you're saying, I see value in you. Right. You matter to this world. Let's see if we can do something together. Yep. That's it. And getting these brothers together to see something is so valuable.
I love it. Anyway, so we got more retreats coming up, I promise you. We didn't even talk about the date night and the powerful games that were played.
Yeah, they were pretty powerful.
They were
pretty amazing. I mean,
they
honestly,
something.
When we see that, it was funny because so to just give you some background, Travis, Travis does our games. He's awesome. He's an MC. He's gifted at this. And he made some movie quote once. It blew me away how many people didn't know. But you know what's funny? The people in the audience were like, oh, I know that one.
I know.
And they were like frustrated that they weren't up there.
And just so you know, the listener, these are quotes like, you can't handle the truth. What movie is that from, right?
Yeah.
And I have 6 people on this stage, and none of them are like, and there's even a picture of the movie.
Like you gave hints in the picture.
Right. And you're like, Nothing. It was fascinating and fun.
Yeah.
And so
the one that blew me away was you had me at hello, and I'm like, I hate Jerry Maguire, but I know that movie.
I know.
And I'm like, she's like, and everyone's like, I don't know, Titanic. You had me at hello.
It's horrible. So anyways, needless to say, if you haven't yet, man, subscribe to the website. Go there, get on the email list so you can be aware of the things that are happening in and around you from Known Legacy, whether it be a day night coming up or it be a retreat that you have a chance to tag into. We'd love to have you join us. If you have questions or comments or just thoughts, info@knownlegacy.org. It's a great way to get in touch with us, and we're pretty good about responding with that stuff. I know we are. And, man, and if you are so inclined, man, to make a donation to help support this mission and ministry moving forward, you can do that on the website, knownlegacy.org.
Yeah.
And we always appreciate that because this is a nonprofit, man. We don't sell advertising. We don't do any of that kind of stuff.
No, we don't.
We just kind of are trusting in the Lord to provide for us, and He has in some amazing ways. So you guys are a part of that. So if you are giving, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if you aren't, and it's something you want to do, we'd love to have you.
You know, one thing we realized through the last couple months is praying through it is we're an investment in people ministry.
Correct.
And our bottom line is to change lives. And man, if that's where you are, that's what we need is more people to go, I see that. Like my bottom, like we all have extra money. I mean, I'm saying like, and when I mean that, I'm not saying just take we just want to take your money, but where does that investment dollars go to?
Correct.
And man, we were able to bring guys into this trip who could not afford to be there that were like, this was a turning point in my life.
Yep.
More than one of these guys were like, I thought this was just going to be like a goof around kind of weekend, and you hear some truth like you do on other men's retreats, and go and be. But then he's like, we set him on solid ground to walk with purpose.
Correct.
And we love doing it. And so I would challenge you, if you're looking for a place to be involved, we want you to be involved as well. info@knownlegacy.org. We're always looking to expand what we do. In fact, we have people going, hey, maybe we could have a chapter over here and do this. So we're already having those conversations. But we want you to know that God's put you here to listen to this on purpose for a purpose. And if you're like, I don't have something by us, man, we travel and we come and do that stuff.
Correct.
We want to invest because we know there's so many churches who are like hanging on by a thread.
We'd love to partner with you and kickstart something amazing in your community.
Yeah, because right now there is a hunger. Like I said, like there's a hunger after everything that's gone on the last couple weeks. People going, what can I do? Right. And instead of being angry, instead of focusing on the wrong thing, we want to give that intentional focus to the power of God and what He can do. I set it up there this weekend that there's so many people who, as I've gotten to do a lot of these things overseas and meet people, that there was this one time, I think I said it on Sunday morning, there's, some of the people that I know from like Korea had made mention to like, man, they knew people who had died for their faith. And when they died for their faith, they were not like bulwarks and like coming at them and like, come and take me. It was like, listen, I want to go home tonight. I want to, but I cannot stop proclaiming what I believe about the Lord and what He's called me to. Like I can't. And America has lost its purpose overall.
Correct.
It has become learn more, sin less, and we'll try to figure this out. And we have had guys walking away going, no, I know what I'm willing to die for now.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do to everybody who listens, is to give them purpose, because, man, the only thing worth living for is the power of the gospel and the life change that brings to every person. But it's not sin management, and it's not just changing your habits.
Behavior modification.
Yeah, that's the word I was trying to see. Again, technology. There you go. You had it right.
I got you back.
This idea of I am created to do this, and man, no one else is created to do the things that I'm supposed to do the way that I'm supposed to do it. So I'm supposed to do this, and we bring that to the Father. And man, to see men come alive, it is the most addicting thing. So can you help feed our addiction in seeing men come alive? We want to partner with you and your churches. We'd love to be a part of that and get you involved. So here's our call to action today. What is God calling you to? What are you missing in your life that you can fill the void in for other men? Because if you're feeling that, other men are feeling it too. And then connecting with us and sharing this with other guys, because we want to make a difference, not just here, but literally all over the country.
Correct. So thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it. Thank you for the guys that were at the retreat. Man, if you want to leave us some encouragement, info@knownlegacy.org. You can check us out, follow us, share us, and if it's something that's impactful, subscribe to the newsletter. We'd love to have you do that as well. So thank you guys so much for checking us out. We really appreciate it. We love what we do, and we're blessed that God's allowing us to do it.
Yeah, we're in your corner, and we know that Jesus is in your corner. So
amen.
Have, I guess, a rest of a good week, man, and I hope that you guys would stay connected to us.
Yeah, God bless.
Thanks for listening to the Known Legacy Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. So email us your questions or comments to info@knownlegacy.org.